I get that back and it's evident. Remember way back when the ends low. Once I got back in my element, fucked up the chair like a nympho. Come through the towers irrelevant. My young niggas slide with the info. VVS diamonds, they delicate. It helped me shine while I'm in though. 10-20K through the Venmo. Ducking the fed like it's Limbo. I'm break bread with my niggas though.
Now tuned in to Thoroughbred magazine and TV. We got a special guest on the line today, AC Smitty. You there?
Yes, sir. AC was having.
All right. Hey, listen, man, I just want to let the audience know straight up off the rip. This brother that I got on the line today, I've been in tune with his music for some years now. He's definitely been on his grind, definitely making strides in the music industry, and I definitely have much respect for you for coming onto the platform, brother.
Appreciate that.
For sure. Most definitely. So, let's get right into it, man. Let's let the audience know, for those that, may not know about you, and they're stuck underneath a rock somewhere. Just give them a little insight, who you are, where you from, and, what your talent is.
Okay, I go by the name AC Smitty. The AC, that's the abbreviation for Always Cool. Little name I ain't gonna say I came up with it, but I got it from a nickname one of my boys gave me, and I just sauced it up, make it sound more smooth, more commercial. But Smitty for sure has always been Smitty, just different ways. But AC Smitty the name. I'm from Carver Ranches, Florida. That's in Broward County. Just a hood nigga trying to make a way out, man. I rap, of course. I'm a lyricist. I like metaphors. I like punchlines. I like double entendres and shit like that. I try to balance it out between, having a message in my music and, giving something, the ooh-ah effect, I like to say, that keep people in tune. So that's all I try to do, keep getting better with my craft, keep strengthening my pen, and get a smooth, cool flow. I got a real mellow vibe. But, it's up-tempo at the same time. It's like a weird balance that I found, and I kind of like it. So I'm just trying to build my fan base and my people around this vibe and this sound and make something great out of it.
Yeah, most definitely. I will say this, just to begin it off, I will say that, your style is definitely unique. Definitely not, the usual. And what you're speaking on in your wordplay is definitely conscious. You know what I mean? You're conscious of what you're saying, and you definitely seem like you really think about the message that you're spreading.
Right.
And on top of that, man, you from the bottom of the map, man. You from Florida. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you putting on for them. So that's big. That's big in a sense. But let's get into it, man. Let's talk about, just really the start. You know what I mean? Because I've been in tune with you since 2016. But I'm quite sure before that you've been rocking. What was that kind of that start when you first, really came into understanding, like, this is what I want to do. I want to be a rapper. I want to make music. I want to create. What was that process for you starting out?
I've been making music for a long time, probably since like 4th, 5th grade. But that's just rapping with your homeboys, trying to be like your favorite rapper, that type shit. So to keep a long story short, I was in a rap group in high school with some cats that I grew up with that I still be with now. And once high school ended and everybody started separating, going their ways to college and trade school and different things like that, getting into their career, I kind of broke off on my own. So I had a lot of raps laying around. I was still writing, but I just kind of got away from it because I wasn't doing it with my brothers no more, so it wasn't the same. And I started getting a lot of hits like, hey, well, you still rap, you still make music, and reminiscing on old stuff we used to do as a group. So I was like, damn, man, let me get back at it. And I got these raps just laying around. So some raps I touched up and added. Some I left it as is, 12 bars, 16 bars. So in 2011, I dropped my first, I'll call it my first official mixtape, just me by myself, in 2011, called The Rough Draft.
Yeah.
Like I said, I named it The Rough Draft because I felt like that's what I had. It was just a bunch of rough drafts, just a bunch of writing. And I didn't go too deep into it. If I just felt like it needed a couple more bars as I was reading it, I added it. If not, I left it as is. So it was kind of like just a bunch of notes in a sense. So that's how I came up with the name.
Now I heard you. Yeah, no. So I'm just saying. Now I heard you say about the Rough Draft and that project. You know, initially when you started, you know, were you more of a pen writer or was you more of a freestyler when it came to the, you know, the creative process as far as making music?
I always was a pen writer, but I feel like my game got good because, okay, probably in middle school, me and my boy Chulo, we call him Chulo.
Okay.
We grew up together. We was rapping together. I had a computer. I had an old compact Windows computer. It didn't have a recording program on it. It had a movie program on it, but it had a microphone. So we used to rap right into the computer, and the mic picks it up, and then it saves, and then you just convert it over. But with it being a movie program, it wasn't no punching in and punching out. So we used to freestyle everything, and we'll freestyle a whole song, hooks, verses, and if you fuck up, you gotta redo the whole thing. You gotta scratch it. So that kind of built my game, as far as coming up with stuff on the spot and just going with what it is. I can't really change nothing, and I think that really developed my pen. And I went from that to we started writing it down. But at the same time, like I said, even with writing it down, you gotta say it and be done. So when I go in the booth, it helped me with going in there and knocking that shit out. One go, one take. I don't really have to do it 10, 20 times because I'm still programmed to, okay, I can redo this. Or I'll get to the last line on a 4-minute song and I gotta start the whole thing over. So it definitely helped build my craft. But yeah, I started off freestyling, and then I gradually went over into writing. Probably about middle school, like 8th grade.
Man, that's dope that you can even reminisce and go back to those times, man. You know what I mean? The beginning.
Right.
And then also, too, to be able to acknowledge the past in the beginning as the stepping stone that got you to the point of where you just like, listen, when I punch in, I need to make sure that this is right. You know what I mean? So that's dope. That's dope. No, go ahead. What was you going to say?
No, I wasn't going to say anything. You good.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, when you first started, you know, as far as the rapping, what kind of transitioned you to take things seriously and really start putting out projects initially?
Like I said, once I broke off, like doing it was a hobby. I rap. Of course, everybody was rapping. You a kid, you want to blow. You seeing cats like, I was young, so at the time, while I was still young making music, you know, Romeo, younger cats like that, you like, okay, kids making it, I want to make it too. But it wasn't a hunger and a desire. It was more, I was doing it more, it was better back then because I was really doing it for the love of just wanting to write. I wasn't overthinking nothing. I wasn't trying to make nothing perfect. I was just giving it raw, whatever came out my head. So it started off as that. But it gradually grew, like I say, once everybody started breaking off and separating, I just still had an itch and a passion for it. And once I saw people asking, I said, oh, snap, I might have an audience that I'm sleeping on. So I was like, let me take this serious. And then that's when I went ahead and put out my first project. So let me see if this is real, if I got a real fan base, and I can run with this shit.
And when you first dropped that first project, Rough Draft, what was the reception as far as when you first came out with that? Were people receptive, or did you kind of get some pushback?
People still talk to me about that project to this day. No lie, they still like. I had a song called what's the name of it? Smoke and Pray. I had a record on there called Smoke and Pray. I had another record I rapped on a cover on one of Drake records. I don't remember. I got like 2 records on that Rough Draft project that for sure people still hit me up about. Like they still trip out. Like, oh, I still listen to that to this day. And I'm like, wow, man. Like I'm way better than that now. But the fact that people still listen to it, it just shows that, you know, my craft is appreciated over time. For it to be
most definitely
over 10 years old and people still fucking with it.
Yeah, and also too, you know, on the business side, you know, now you got a catalog that people could definitely tap back into as well as your core fan base from back then. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Which is that's why I try to stay patient, stay focused. So like I know once everything unfolds, everything gonna come together all at once, and it's gonna look like, you know how they say how cats came out of nowhere, but they've been grinding for a long time. I feel like it's gonna be part of my story, where people are like, oh, where you came from, but when you backtrack, you gonna see all this catalog and all this music and projects that I already have been putting out, and I think it's gonna be a dope thing.
Most definitely, most definitely. I mean, we could definitely, I mean, moving forward from there. You actually moving forward from that. You actually was able to collab with a big artist, an artist that I'm actually in tune with, that I listen to all the time, Currency. So, I mean, what was that process like? Because I feel like even back then, I feel like Currency was definitely one of those artists that you kind of looked up to, that you definitely was influenced by. You know what I mean? So did that kind of so did that kind of influence you also? And how did that even come about as far as y'all making a song together?
Well, I definitely was a big Currency fan. Probably right around the time when I dropped my first project. I've been listening to him from when he was with Young Money, but like 2011, 12 is when I was just listening to his solo projects only, and I became a real, I would say, Spitter fan. That's when I became Jet Life to the fullest by heart. So he definitely influenced my music as far as the beat selection I chose, because his music just touched me in a way, and it's like, okay, this is my vibe. So that made me, okay, I'm a rap. All right, this is where I know my personality. This is the music for my personality. So he definitely affected the type of beats I pick, and probably the subject matter that I would pick just from listening to him and knowing, okay, this is the direction I want to go. And how that came about, as I was grinding, I came across a situation with Rock Nation. So I got with Rock Nation, and you know, just like how you noticed that I'm a fan of Currency, they also noticed it, and I had a friend in the building that helped piece it together. We sent him the record over. He was loving it, and he sent it back right away, man. It was a dope thing. It kind of happened. It was God-given.
No, I said it was history. It was history from there.
Definitely. It was history from there. It was just like the stars aligned. It was funny to backtrack a little bit. Right before even doing the record, I opened for him many times. I met him. I done been to different events, spoke, showed him some of my videos, stuff he probably don't even really remember. I met it with his manager, swapped out information, we chopped it up once or twice. Like, I had been chasing him for so long to get that, and then it was like it just kind of came together right on time. I had came across a label situation. I had a new project with Don Cannon I had put together, and then boom, here he come, like the finishing touches. It was crazy. I can't really explain it, but it was just
hey, that's how life works sometimes, man. And I definitely want to dig in on that too, man, for your fans and supporters, man. I want to dig in on that. I mean, because we all understand that when you're trying to push a line, when you're trying to be creative and you're trying to do something that maybe a lot of people haven't done, or just not having that support, pushing that line to continue to keep pushing forward with what you see. You know what I mean? So
right.
I could even hear you telling that story that it's kind of in amazement at the fact that things worked out that way. You know what I mean? So how has, coming from that point to where you at now, how do you kind of perceive that, like, as far as your fans and stuff like that? Like, what type of advice would you give them as far as, pushing forward?
My fans, I would say just keep grinding and stay focused and put your head down. Like, go after what you want, but it kind of got to come with a balance. Like, you want to pursue it, you want to push at it, you strive to make a goal, to attack it a little bit more each and every day, but don't force it. Don't think, I have to obtain this tomorrow. You just make sure you putting yourself in a position in the room for the opportunity to come, and then it's gonna come like everybody says, it's gonna come when you least expect it. I know it sounds cliche, but it's real. Like, it really gonna come when you least expect it, and it's just like the universe brought it together, because it's like, okay, this what you want, okay, I'm finally gonna give it to you. And it came when my situation was all aligned, then all the pieces came together. So the times when I wanted to work with him, probably wasn't meant, or I probably wasn't ready. But the fact that I had so much other things going on, it just made the situation much more bigger, and probably even better than if I would have got it years prior. So make sure you keep yourself in the room and in the area of what you're striving for, and just keep your head down and keep working. By the time you pick your head up, you're gonna be right there in your state.
Most definitely. We appreciate that too, man, for sure, you sharing that. I want to also dig into on just the mindset that you had to be in, to continue to keep doing music? How did you channel yourself to look at yourself as a business and moving as, listen, I'm AC Smitty. This is what I'm doing. I'm rapping. How did you kind of transition yourself to really lock in and say, I'm going to really do what I need to do, and just connecting the dots?
Really just a passion for the music, and getting a response from people is looking like, I looked at it like, okay, I have people who really are into what I'm doing. So it's kind of, I do it for me and I do it for others. And at the same time, okay, this is my craft. This is anybody who's good at building something. You can benefit from your craft as far as whatever you're looking for, if it's money, if it's for traveling, if it's for just the love and energy you get from other people. So it's like, all right, I could do this and I could make a living off of it. I ain't got to go and punch no clock. I could get up, go in the studio, write music, put it out, and I can live my life and be financially good with it. So it's just like everything brought up in one. So it's like, okay, let's go get it. And then once I start grinding for it, the more I start opening up the shows, more fans, different aspects, meeting different people, traveling more. This music probably made me travel more than I ever would in the last couple of years of my life. I traveled so much that I never thought I would, and went places I probably thought I'd never go. So it's just that drive and that hunger to keep going and keep making it bigger and keep, making bigger goals, taking bigger steps. So it's just the whole journey, I would say.
That's dope, man. If you can remember that first show that you rocked, man, that first show that you rocked, that first opening up, whatever that first show was, can you really break down for the audience, man, the people to listen, what was that feeling like when you first stepped out on that stage?
It was a dope feeling. I would say it's kind of like when you played in a football game or any sport, you had them real big butterflies. But once the music cut on, after you get about the first 2-3 bars in, and you get a couple head nods, and people give you the ugly face because you might have said something like, ooh, that shit was hard, and then all that shit go away, man, and then you get the vibe, and you get the back like how you was when you was writing it at the crib, and just staring at people and looking into the audience, seeing their reactions and seeing, okay, people really fuck with this, and it's like, okay, almost in the sense of like, I'm the man, like, yeah, I could do this, man, like, this is my future. It's like looking at your life, ahead of time, like, oh, all right, it's going to be a long line of this right here, doing shows, rocking out, having fun, that adrenaline rush, man. It's just a beautiful thing. That love, that energy that comes when you on the same frequency as everybody else in the room is something that, you can't buy.
Most definitely. And do you remember what that first show was? And, where were you at? What city you touched at?
My first solo show, I opened up for Currency at, oh my God, I forgot the name of the venue. It was in downtown Miami, right by the arena. I can't believe I forgot the name of the venue. But I had opened up them, and it was sold out, like 1,000 people. It was packed. It was on Smash. I had all my cats from the neighborhood.
Most definitely.
It was just a beautiful feeling, man. It was dope. I can't lie.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And I know you just said, about your guys, man, your the people from the neighborhood, man. What was that kind of like as far as you coming down out of Florida? What type of things were you going through, living in that environment? Did that kind of influence your music or make you push harder with the music?
It definitely influenced the music in the sense of when we first started rapping, it'd be everybody in the hood was rapping. Rather you took it serious or rather you was doing it just because you was there. Going over to my homie Toon crib, we rapping in the closet. It's probably like 4x4. You can't even stretch your arms in that bitch. And we rap in the closet. It's 100 niggas in the room. So everybody watching you, grilling you, waiting to see what you gonna say. They bring hoes through, hoes waiting to see what you gonna say. You ain't trying to fuck up in front of the hoes. It was just different. It was just a hunger, and it's like it's something you want to do every day. It was like going to the park, posting up at the park, but we was doing something constructive without even realizing. Like we used to make beats and everything. I done lost that. I was like, damn, I gotta get back to that. I just forgot. I'm like, damn, we used to sit there, make a beat, and rap to it all in one day. And we stayed till it's time to go home, and I'll be back tomorrow as soon as school out. We run it again. Like, that shit was that shit definitely affected the music because it forced you to get your pen game up. Because somebody go in there and say something hard, all right, I gotta go in there and outbeat that, or niggas gonna grill me. So I think it's that hunger, that competitive nature. It forced me to get my pen game up, to go home and really perfect my craft.
Most definitely. And you know, even back then, moving on to now, other than Currency, you know, what were kind of your music influences other than Currency that made you kind of just tap in and kind of create your sound?
Definitely Fabulous was definitely somebody who.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm influenced by. I love his lyrical wordplay. And he's definitely mellow too, but he still gives that raw punch.
Exactly.
Big Crit is another one.
Most definitely.
Just because I like too, I don't rap like him, and that just makes me even more of a fan because I appreciate his style and the way he creates his music and how super conscious he is, but still music you can ride to. J. Cole, huge J. Cole fan. Same thing with him, like Crit. They're very conscious, but at the same time, give you bars and metaphors and keep you in tune, something you can vibe out to. Huge Wayne fan. Wayne probably is a big influence. Definitely when it came down to punchlines and metaphors and just painting a picture on the beat. Wayne, all these guys right here is probably like my top 5. Cole, Wayne, Crit, Currency, Fabulous. I'll say Drake. Drake definitely a big influence. I like how he has so much range. He don't sit in one pocket or sit in one genre, but it's him. He don't come off as he copying nobody. It's real organic. So them probably a few off the top.
No, I definitely agree with that. I feel as though, you know, even down to your own sound, when you was naming those artists, I could see where you critiqued the sounds and made your own. You know what I mean? To where it's unique.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I definitely hear that. I definitely hear that in the music. And I also want to say too, when it came down to you as far as the music, I know you have a love for it, but where do you say that love came from for the music? You know what I mean? Was there any influences as far as, you know, maybe around the house, you know, your family members playing music at a young age?
I had a cousin who was rapping while he used to go by the name Smitty as well.
Wow.
He was rapping for a while, and then he became a writer. He wrote for Dre. He wrote for Diddy. He definitely was somebody. He didn't inspire me to do the music. It kind of just naturally came. I think it came more from being a fan of other artists. Like back then, when I was in elementary school, 50 Cent and Big, 50 Cent, listening to Biggie, Tupac, Lauryn Hill, like Eminem. Like those are definitely influences that make me want to write. But once I had somebody in my family who was doing it, it just opened my eyes more that, okay, it's obtainable. But I'll say it just naturally came. It probably something in the bloodline. It probably hit him and skipped a few generations because he probably like 10, 15 years older than me. He probably skipped a few generations and then it hit me. Because like I said, I didn't have a lot of people around me necessarily that was into music. It was more so it just came. And like I say, the little stars just started to align. I got little pictures, little visions that's showing you, okay, keep doing it. And, you know, I stayed at it.
Most definitely. And I know, you know, also too, to kind of touch on the current situation that's going on in the world, you know, we all dealing with this pandemic right now, this coronavirus situation, and we definitely send our condolences out there to, you know, to anybody affected by this as well as ourselves, man. We definitely trying to push through with this. But
yeah, most definitely, man. It's definitely a real situation, and you know, it's gradually. They act like it's slowing down, but I still see it getting closer to hitting home. Like, well, you know, people that I know, and you know, it's a real situation. You gotta try to do your best to do your research and stay healthy and have your body prepped and prepared, you know, at all times. So that's all I try to do. I try to eat and drink the right things, and you know, be on top of it as best as I can. You just gotta fight, man. It's a crazy world. And,
most definitely,
you gotta figure it out.
Most definitely. I mean, during this time, has this kind of current situation in the world kind of influenced your music now, where you kind of feeling like the music industry is changing with, you know, I mean, because this is a different aspect. I see a lot of the artists are engaging in different things like that. Have you kind of switched up your engagement with the audience and your fan base right now with everything going on?
it kind of really didn't change too much. I'll say this did more of just make me sit back and analyze more to prepare for later. I'll say probably when this is over, not even when it's over, maybe some months from now, I'll have my approach different. I think it gave me time to really line up and strategize how I want to go about things, just seeing how people reacting to certain things, and you know, it's just like taking the mask off. You know, it's not just so much, because before everything was flooded and saturated and everybody was just living life, and just moving, but now everything broke down and more focused. You can kind of channel and see what's important to people and what's not. And so I definitely with this, I definitely did the Cold Summer Challenge. I spoke on it a little bit just to, you know, get some bars to the fans and speak on what we really got going on. I got that on my Instagram and my YouTube as well. I spoke on it a little bit, just, you know, just showing that I'm a conscious and I'm aware, and I'm not just, you know, just living life like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I know you definitely speaking on the Cold Summer Challenge. I know you also did the weather report. That was a dope one too. And 10-4 too. 10-4 was a crazy one too. I like that, man. And you still moving and shaking, man, even with everything taking place. And I like that, man. You still pushing. You still putting music out there and still touching the fans, man. And that's dope. That's dope.
Definitely still trying to find ways to shoot. Like I got a dope video I'm finna come out with soon for a record. I call it 12 p.m. in LA. It's a little verse I wrote when I was in LA, like around this time last year, and I shot it like right at the beginning. We had the curfew and everything. I went over to my boy crib and we shot it plain wall, but it came out so dope. You wouldn't even know I was at anybody's crib when I shot it. When you see it, you think back to what I'm telling you now, you're gonna be like, wow, like we shot four walls, but we made a movie out of it. I'm proud of it because it went beyond my expectations, and it just showed that you don't need a lot to get things done. And no matter what's going on, pandemic, whatever, you know, the music is a safe haven, and it came out to be a beautiful thing. So I can't wait to drop that.
True indeed. And I mean, even now to you giving that insight, man, for the people listening, to know that you started, you know, with a laptop, you know what I mean, and really just trying to pick up that sound as best as you can. And I tell a lot of the artists, man, the people that I come in contact with, man, to just create. Don't worry about it being perfected. You know what I mean? Just get to it, create what you can, and put it out, man, because people are respected. You know what I mean? If you really put your heart and soul into it, man, people are respected. For sure. And I was already tuned in from a long time ago, and I definitely commend you for, you know, staying down and pushing forward, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that.
For sure. For sure. Moving forward, though, what's your bigger vision as far as the brand of AC Smitty? What do you know, foresee yourself, like, bigger scale, maybe a Jay-Z level? Like, are you trying to go on that level, or maybe venturing off into other different avenues as far as movies and stuff like that? Like, what's your bigger picture?
I definitely want to grow my brand. I won't necessarily say movies. I'm not against it. I'm not opposing it, but I say just more so being a brand, being able to represent with other companies, rather it's clothing, rather it's shoes, rather it's being a spokesperson for something, just to show that I'm more than the music, showing that I'm a bright intellectual person and I got range. I just want to turn yourself into, you know, that mobile aspect. You know, it don't even have to be simple as liquor, alcohol. It could be books. It could be whatever. I just want to show that I want to help with the people. And like I have right now, we've been doing the last 2-3 years, we've been doing this Christmas give back where we've been playing basketball, flag football, and we raise the money. We don't keep none of the money, and we go out and buy toys and we give it to the kids in the neighborhood. So I definitely want to grow that and keep growing that. So by the time I get to where I want to be, I want it to be a big thing where I could go outside my neighborhood and bring it into other people's neighborhood and show that, you know, it's about giving back. And for the people that, I don't even want to say the less fortunate, because we all in the same boat, but us coming together, putting $1 together to turn to $100, and then you can give it to 100 kids. Like, that's the whole goal. So I just want my brand to show that I am a people person, and you know that I want to see everybody come up, and we could take numbers. We could be great with it.
Most definitely, man. That's dope in a sense, man. And we need more of that out here too, man, with these artists, man. You know, definitely tapping in with the fan base, with the people that surround and support it. So I like to hear that for sure. For sure.
Right, man. Yeah, I definitely want to, I definitely want you to be right there, right after one of my shows, and we having the same conversation, reiterating it all over again, and just continue to see the growth, because I care about the love more than anything. Right after the music's done, I just care about the love and the energy from the people. Outside of that, nothing else matters, man. I really appreciate the love and energy you get from having people who appreciate you and what you do and your blood, sweat, and tears you put in.
Most definitely, most definitely. Well, look, let's end it off with this. If there's two things I want to ask. If there's anything that probably people wouldn't know about AC Smitty, man, something that he do, some hobby, a certain type of food that you like, what would that be?
Oh man, I'm a real laid back mellow dude. I don't show it a lot. I like riding dirt bikes. I'm a huge dirt bike fanatic. I don't really show it.
Oh man, that's cool. I
start doing that more. You feel me? I gotta start doing that more. I gotta get on my meat fish shit, dog.
For real, that's what's up.
I'm just the type of person, when I do shit, I do it. So I'm not thinking about, let me put it on the ground. I'm thinking about, let me fire this bike, smell this fucking gas, and maybe let's ride. So I'm definitely gonna do more to show that part. I love dirt bike. I love, just I'm real humble. I'm simple, dog. I'm real simple. Don't take.
I definitely feel that, man. It comes through the music and in your character too, man. Even down to some years ago, when we tapped in and I reached out to you, man. I definitely felt that, and just to see everything unfold is a wonderful thing, man. So that's cool, man. And one more thing to the people listening. It's definitely feeling like they creative. That's definitely feeling like they want to push the line and do things outside of the box. That may not feel, the inspiration or motivation to keep pushing forward. What type of inspiration would you give them to keep pushing forward with their dreams?
Type of inspiration I give them?
Yeah.
Man, I would say if you look back right now, you can just, something small is going on my Instagram right now. You can just see the growth. Probably my very last picture, I'm sitting at the park with my boys, and you can gradually see I'm at another stage. I'm in another stage. I done met somebody, and I never stopped. The thing is, I never stopped. It didn't come fast. I've been rapping from 2011. It's 2020 now, and some people probably would have said, fuck it, it's people blowing overnight. But I ain't take that route. I ain't look at it like watching the next man. I just kept stabbing at it, and I'm benefiting. I'm getting jewels and gems from it. I ain't pay attention to what's going on around me. I just focus on what I can control. And you're gonna keep attacking and getting things that you want, and piece by piece, and just keep going at it, dog. It'll all work out. It'll all line up, man. Never stop. That's the only thing.
Never stop. Never stop. Hey, listen, I think that's the measure to leave it off to, man. For everybody listening, man, that's definitely feeling like they want to keep pushing forward, man. You heard it here first. AC Smitty. Never stop. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing.
That love.
Most definitely. And listen, we appreciate having you on, man. It's been another episode of many episodes to come. THOROBRED Magazine and TV. We out.